Hey guys, welcome back to another skincare and yap. And today I pretty much just want to talk about weight loss, fitness, postpartum fitness, and all that good stuff. I always have to start my skincare with a lip balm. I feel like I can't even talk with my lips chapped. Basically, I'm just kind of reflecting on my fitness journey. I've always been a fitness person. I've always, worked out consistently and all that. Up until I was pregnant, being pregnant was the longest I didn't work out. I stopped going to the gym probably around 3 months pregnant. And that was mostly just due to feeling self-conscious in the gym. I felt kind of weird, being a pregnant woman at the gym. You don't really see, a lot of pregnant women at the gym. Sometimes, I do, but I just felt kind of self-conscious about it. So I would mostly just go on walks, and that was my exercise during pregnancy. And then after I gave birth, I really didn't start working out. I would go on walks every day, and I'd go on an hour, sometimes 2-3 hour walks with my baby, my little stroller, because that was all I felt comfortable doing. I was not ready to leave my baby and go to the gym every day, or it was just kind of hard for me to find the time. So I would say right now I've been going to the gym 5 times a week for the past 6 months. Before that, I would just be going to the gym very sporadically. Sometimes I'd go twice a week, sometimes I'd skip a week, sometimes I'd go every day a week, and sometimes I'd do walks and no walks. I was kind of just didn't have a routine. So now I have my routine. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I do 3 days of weight training, and I do 2 days of yoga. Some weeks I'll do a Pilates class, or I'll do a run. So that is kind of up to date of the past year and a half. I don't know, I guess for some people, I don't know, after I gave birth, my friends, family would be oh, girl, you snapped back. And I really personally didn't feel that way, because I guess no one knows your body as best as you do, but I felt I went from being super tiny fit girl to just kind of, I'm probably the largest I've ever been, the largest in pants and shirts, and the most I've ever weighed. So I don't really feel that way, because I'm not back to that body. I'm in a whole new body. I'm in my mom body. For some period of time, I was really hard on myself. Damn, I'm not back to that size I was. I don't fit in all the clothes I used to wear. And after a certain period of time, I just was really hard on myself, because in the past, if I've ever, wanted to lose weight or whatever, I feel I'm someone that I can go to the gym for 2 weeks and I look like I've been training my whole life. It was really hard. It is hard, postpartum, because I guess you just, it's you have a lot of hormones, emotions. If you're breastfeeding and you stopped, I was breastfeeding for the first few months, and breastfeeding does, I think, really play a big part in losing weight because it kind of like regulates you and it takes a lot of energy. But yeah, I had also just a whole new lifestyle change. I became a stay-at-home mom, so I have a more sedentary lifestyle. I'm not as active as I was. I'm not like, you know, just kind of being a stay-at-home mom, you can find yourself like just not being as active. So I don't know, I feel like I'm in a very, like, you know, I'm in a good space where I'm not as hard on myself. Like, I do understand like the changes in my body have a lot to do with just being a mom, being pregnant, being postpartum. And, you know, I am grateful for my body. I'm amazed with my body that it was able to create life and birth a baby, home a baby, and I wouldn't change a thing about that. To get into the gym stuff. So I'm at a weird place where I've been going to the gym for literally like 6 months consistently, like very consistent. And I guess it kind of sparked like me kind of thinking about it because the gym that I am going to, they're closing down for like renovations. So they're gonna be closed for a few weeks. But I kind of already have like my pattern, like my routine. So it's kind of like throwing me off. I can go to like a different location and it's not that big of a deal. There's a couple, you know, nearby me. Or should I just do, you know, like workout videos, at home workouts? Should I try like different classes? Because, you know, I'm already not going to be at my typical place doing the typical thing. So it's like, should I just, you know, do a whole 360? I think the thing too with me is throughout the time, like taking like measurements like of my waist, my hips, and you know, all of that, weighed myself. I have tried to just not do it that much because I don't want to like, you know, obsess about it. Like, I don't think it's healthy for me at least to like obsess about measurements or weight every single day. Like, you know, just do a check-in, you know, every couple months. That's more than enough. But yeah, I think one thing that has like, I guess been like kind of like, okay, like I don't know what to do about this. Like, I have been like, my measurements have been like a little bit smaller. Like my waist has gotten smaller. My butt has gotten bigger though, which just makes sense because that's what I like train a lot. Like, I lift very heavy weights doing like glute exercises. So my butt has grown like 4 inches, which I'm not really sure. I feel like that is a lot. And my waist has gotten smaller, my arms have gotten smaller, but I have gained like weight on the scale. So, and I haven't been like weighing myself. So I was like, okay, like it's kind of weird because I do like feel slimmer, my clothes fits better. I feel just more like toned and muscular, and you know, I'm like kind of eating the same, if not healthier than I was before. And I'm working out way more consistently than I was. So I did like research into it. What I had found in my research is that in this stage, it's like body recomposition, where I'm basically replacing the fat in my body with muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So even though I'm smaller or the same in some parts, like I'm most likely gaining weight on the scale because I'm have more muscle. than I previously did. Like before it was, I weighed what I weighed and I had a certain amount of fat and muscle, and now I have way more muscle and less fat. I don't know, basically it's not a super bad thing or good thing. I think throughout like from, I don't know, from like teen years to like being in my 20s, I feel like I always go back and forth of like, I am gonna be like, I feel like I feel everyone wants to kind of like grow their butt. I don't know, like that's kind of just the trend or whatever, like, or just kind of makes more sense. Like if you want a more hourglass figure, like, you need to kind of have like a bigger butt and smaller waist. And that's like what like 99% of the women that I see at the gym and online, work out. It's just kind of the thing. So a part of me is like, okay, I like doing the weightlifting. I like getting the muscle because I like that my butt is bigger and my waist is a little smaller and I feel snatched and toned and I don't have to do that much cardio because I don't mind running, but or walking. I love walking, but I don't know. I feel like it's just like cardio can just be a lot on the body. It can feel, especially just doing it all the time, it can just feel a lot on your body. So I'm not a big fan of like having that for my workouts. And with cardio, well, I don't know, but basically, yeah, like I'm in like my weightlifting gym girly era. So it kind of makes sense. Like you can lift weights and be like slim, but obviously like a big part of lifting weights is growing muscle, and like a big part of growing your butt is growing your butt and getting a bigger butt. So I feel like sometimes, like what I was basically saying, like throughout the past, I don't know, however many years, past decade, I go in between like wanting to be like a skinny queen, like being like on a calorie deficit, eating my fruits and my veggies, having my smoothies and my oats, and just like a very super balanced calorie deficit snatch diet with my cardio, my abs, my HIIT exercises, my cardio running, and being, kind of more like tiny and small, not really muscle, just, fit, like that kind of body type. And then I go back and forth between that and kind of what I am now, like my weightlifting, getting muscle, being fit kind of vibe. Now I'm kind of just rambling. Hopefully what I'm saying is making some sense, but basically just kind of just like my little check-in, maybe 6 months check-in, maybe I'll do a year check-in of just kind of like what my vibe is and how I'm feeling. If you are watching this because you are on fitness journey, weight loss journey, postpartum fitness journey, just know that it's okay to have, goals and, fitness aspirations, but it's never worth being hard on yourself, and just take things one day at a time, build healthy habits, and yeah, just don't be hard on yourself. It's not worth being hard on yourself. But yeah, if you've stuck around this far, just know that you are a baddie and you're probably hot as fuck. So just, who cares? Just live your life, be a queen, be a king, and yeah, I wish you all the happiness in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye.